Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm delighted to have with me all the way from Las Vegas. Uh, a privilege to have with me. I know you're very busy, but my man Hasim Rahman Jr. Hasim, firstly, thank you for coming on and giving me a few minutes of your time. How are we keeping? How are we feeling?
No problem, man. Thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum. I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great. Any guys, I'm over here doing my recovery right now. So we're getting some recovery on the legs right now. I just did red light therapy. So we shout out my man Steve. He got it hooked up over here in Vegas, and we just crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's on this one, man. We ready?
Hasim, before we speak about Jake, we speak about the fight. Let me just ask you, as a fighter, as a man who's a boxing fan, as a man who was brought up in boxing, what do you make of Jake and others from kind of the YouTube world participating in the sport of boxing? There's kind of mixed opinions amongst fighters and amongst those associated with the sport.
I like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it when depending on whose situation you look at. Uh, Jake takes the sport serious and he trains hard and diligently. So there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. But if you're gonna be like off and on and off and on and just kind of using it for clout, yeah, that's not what we do. Boxing is a year-round sport. There's no off season. Just something that you put your all into. So, the ones that are doing it just to grab a payday here and there, that's not what real boxing is about. But my plans are to go ahead and send Jake into retirement.
So let's go back to the beginning. Jake Paul is fighting Tommy Fury. All of a sudden, noise starts kicking off that Tommy can't get to the States, and then Jake's putting a lot of videos out, go to the embassy, etc. Jake doesn't do, Tommy doesn't do that. Next thing you hear, the fight's not taking place now. Now there's rumors that Jake Paul won't be fighting on August the 6th. All of a sudden, your name pops up. Hasim Rahman Jr. is now fighting Jake Paul. So just speak to me and just explain that process on how from Tommy not fighting Jake, how kind of did you get selected?
Well, initially I got a phone call after Tommy had pulled out to come and spar Jake because he was going to be fighting Anderson Silva. So they needed all my information, like my weight and how much I had been sparring and where I was, how I was feeling, just about boxing in general. Since I took a loss in my last fight, and this came from several people in Jake's camp. Gave me a call, and then probably about an hour and 15 minutes after I got off the last phone call, I got a next phone call saying that from my team saying that Jake wants to fight you, and I was like, what? They just called me for sparring. What do you mean he wants to fight me? So I'm like, okay, well, they told me that there was a take it or leave it contract. There's only I don't get to negotiate anything. There's nothing that they're gonna change. And if I didn't take it, Jake would never give me another opportunity to fight him again. So, I said, you know what? Regardless of all this ridiculous stuff, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this opportunity. And I'm gonna make the most of it. Any, I thought about it like every boxer wants to punch Jake Paul in the face in front of the world. So why not grab the bull by the horns and go ahead and be the person to do it?
So there was a lot of talk about pay-per-view upside and being paid less than what Tommy was offered, etc. So do you feel like you had no opportunity to negotiate whatsoever? Do you think they were calling your bluff to see whether or not you take the fight or whether you step back and start negotiating? Do you feel like you could have negotiated?
No, I feel like that's really I don't think Jake will fight me straight up. He put a lot of stuff that they've asked me not to even talk about. They've asked me not to talk about a lot of things, and he put a he just set up the fight to where it was to his advantage, or so he thinks. He thinks it's to his advantage. But I'm a Muslim, so the only thing I fear is Allah. I have zero other fears. So, you know, I think that there's nothing in this world that's unattainable. I truly believe that come August 6th, Jake will be full of excuses and full of reasons why he didn't win this fight. And that's exactly what it is. It's a fight. I don't think Jake's been in an actual fight yet. So come August 6th, we're gonna see how he responds, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna show y'all how he panics because I've seen him panic. I've made him panic. And I have full 100% confidence that I'm gonna make him panic on August 6th, and he's gonna see what it's like to be in a real deal fight. It's not the gym. I know he's in tremendous shape, but he's shown in the past that his 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 conditioning from the gym doesn't transfer over into fights, and I'm gonna expose him. He's not been in a situation where he's had to do a lot of things, and I'm gonna make him think about a lot of things and second guess a lot of things. He hasn't been in a position where he's had to do a lot of the things that he's gonna have to do on August 6th. Jake has never had to adapt, and when he did, it was the only real situation where he did was in his last fight, where he got a beautiful knockout over the UFC welterweight champion Tyrone Woodley. But I'm no Tyrone Woodley at all, and I don't think Tyrone Woodley will even get in the ring with me at any weight. So props to Jake for stepping up to the fight. But there's a like you said, if I would have had any chance at negotiating anything, I don't think Jake would have took it.
Hasim, you've mainly fought at heavyweight, so obviously you got to cut your weight to get down to the agreed weight limit. I'm not sure what that is, but a lot of people talk about a rehydration clause that works tremendously in Jake's favor. I know said there was some contractual stuff you can't talk about, so I appreciate that. But could you give us any info, any insight into what that weight is?
I mean, it's just like you said, and it's not like it hasn't been reported. The fight weight is 200 pounds, and the rehydration clause is 214 pounds. Um, the next day at 12 noon, which was not actually in the initial contract, but the New York State Athletic Commission seen the original contract and they seen that it was so absurd that they had to actually give me more weight to be allowed. So that's how that went. There was not a negotiation. This was actually something that the commission said, no, that's ridiculous. That's not even safe. We're not going to do that. We're going to give them this much, and that's what we are now.
What, 14 days out from the fight? How do you kind of feel physically?
I feel great, man. The weight has been. I'm actually ahead of schedule to hit the weight. So the weight's not been a problem for me. It's been coming off great, and Jake did me a favor. The best way to lose weight is to get out on that track. That's been what's brought out the most, brought down the most weight for me. I thought it was gonna be in the gym or possibly on the treadmill, but the track has been with my biggest weight loss I've seen after my track workouts. It's been a huge difference in my weight. So it's like he did me a favor with that because I'm killing two birds with one stone. Bringing down my weight and taking up my cardio and conditioning, and as well as eating differently and eating better, eating to fuel myself as opposed to having to starve or having to just putting the wrong things in my body. I'm putting fuel in my body so that I could, burn it off and get to a very. I'm looking great, looking cut up, looking great, and it's just been amazing how well my team has done with me. I have nutritionists and I have strength and conditioning coaches, and they're all in love with this process. And like I said, we're ahead of schedule right now, and we've been ahead of schedule. So I'm just excited to step on the scale August 5th, step on the scale August 6th, and step on Jake's throat August 6th at night.
Did you ever think in your 13, 14 fight you'll be main eventing on Showtime or on pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden out of all places?
Nah, man, nah. I thought it would take, a lot longer than this, but this is the world now. I mean, you got Donald Trump as president, so that just goes to show you, like, popularity is very, very much in the realms of what people see and what people want to see, and people want to see a popular guy in Jake Paul fight. So, and they're tired of seeing him fight people who can't box. So now let's see him fight an actual boxer. So, that's what it looked like. What it looks like on the outside, but on the inside, we really gonna know what it looks like once that bell rings. Nobody can save him. Nobody can punch for him. None of his followers can get in there and push him. This is gonna be me and Jake.
I see we've seen him punch and knock people out with that right hand. It seems like he's got some dynamite in that right hand. What do you make of his right hand, number one? And two, what happened in sparring?
Um, he has a good right hand. I can say that. He's proven that in this fight. But he's never been even made to have to adjust. No one's ever taken his right hand away from him. His hook is trash. He don't know a left hook from a fish hook. So his hook is trash. His jab is almost non-existent. So once we neutralize the right hand, which I know how to do, I've done it several times before. Um, I think he's gonna be in a world of trouble. And what happened in the sparring? He they posted clips exactly what I thought was gonna happen. They didn't show obviously they didn't show the whole sparring. They didn't even show like what was really going on. They just show little bits and pieces, and that's why I got mad because Jacob, when you get there, they tell you can't use your cameras, and you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to go so much percent, and Jake's in there like it's a real actual fight because he doesn't have amateur experience. So he's in there with the mindset that this is a real fight. This really counts, and you got a guy that's coming in to help you work on stuff, and then for him to be jumping on top of turnbuckles and just basically trying to make a fool of a professional is disrespectful. And I'm gonna make him respect me on August 6th. He's gonna have a lot to answer, and I can't wait to see not only the look on his face, but the look on his entire team and everybody else who died. And I can't wait to see the looks on their face when I ruin all their plans. They they're gonna have the oh I knew it face or oh I told you so face.
I know obviously you're very, very close with your father, who's a former world heavyweight champion himself. But I remember us watching the press conference and he was trying to goad you, he was trying to make you bet, he was trying to get kind of under your skin. You kind of composed yourself and stayed, mentally kept your cool. Who do you give credit to, from the people around you that kind of keep you grounded and make sure that, listen, the focus is the fight in the ring and not the fight out of the ring?
My mom and dad, my uncle, my brother, my sister. It's just I have an amazing family, and we're very humble and we're very appreciative for being on the stage. So we're not gonna fight at the press conference. It's no fight at the press conference. I'm here to talk to the press. I wasn't really even there for Jake. So Jake's very predictable. We already knew he was coming with the bet. He's very, very predictable, not only inside the ring but outside the ring as well. So when someone's predictable like that, you can almost see what's coming. So I'm gonna keep making him look stupid. Just like I made him look stupid then, he's gonna look stupid on August 6th.
I think I'm going to ask you. I saw a couple of interviews with some ex-fighters, notably Sean Porter and Timothy Bradley, and they both say this. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on this. Sean said he feels like you're handicapped going into this fight with everything that they've put on you, but of course he wants you to win. And then Bradley says that you almost lack discipline, and after 3 rounds you get tired, and he'll probably stop you late.
Shout out to Sean, man. Sean's actually since then has come into my camp and came and watched me work out and told me some things he he thinks are gonna relay over into the fight. So super shout out to Showtime Sean Porter. Thank you so much. As far as Timothy Bradley, I don't know. I don't know why he thinks that. I don't know if he's taking too many punches and forgot about the amateur tournaments. He sat there and watched me win, and then took pictures with me after the tournaments, and told me how amazing it was. I looked in the ring. Um, there were the I think that Tim Bradley is going off of my last fight, and for someone to have so much experience in boxing, I don't know why he would make such a frugal mistake in judgment. But they do say in boxing, you're only as good as your last fight. So if you think I only got 3 rounds in me, that's fine. But this is the thing, and this is the thing that blows my mind. Uh, people talk about how tired I got in my last fight only because I lost. They don't talk about how Jake looked in his last fight. Jake looked terrible. Jake looked terrible. Jake looked in terrible condition. Looked like he would never get a chance to fight on that stage again, up until the knockout blow. If you listen to the commentary, even the commentators were saying how awful of a fight it was, and this was Showtime pay per view, the same as we're going now. Um, I don't think Jake is like some phenomenal athlete that's gonna change from looking terrible however many months ago to looking amazing when we get in there because he doesn't have that experience. He doesn't have that know-how. Jake's never had to hustle to win rounds. He hasn't had to, do the things that I've had to do in fights. Maybe he's done so in sparring in the gym with his whole team around him, but once we get in a fight, it's a fight, and every second counts. And round by round, he's gonna feel the fight slipping away, and the more and more he sees that even Amanda Serrano, she touched on it that when she heard about the fight, she pretty much said that his only chance is that equalizer. So, you think we don't know that? You think we don't know that Jake's waiting for me to slow down my pace for him to land that? We know this, and we're getting ready for this. And there's absolutely 100%, no doubt in my mind, I'm gonna punish this man. Whether it be whatever the outcome of the fight may be. I don't think he's seen. He calls me slow. I don't think he's seen the speed that I have. I don't think he's seen the power that I possess. And I know for a fact he doesn't. He's never been in there in a fight with someone with the ring IQ that I have now. I've heard he's had some great sparring partners brought in, and they may be doing everything they can to help him, but there's a huge difference between sparring and fighting. I don't care who you sparring. I don't care who you boxing. When you get in there with them 10-ounce gloves on, and you got a very determined person like me, especially coming off my a loss, and especially with the faith in the law that I can do whatever it is I put my mind to. I just put my power in dua and press forward. Jake, there's a lot of things he can't do. I'm not gonna say him right now. There's a lot of things he can't do, and I'm gonna expose him on August 6th. Uh, it's advantage Rockman. I believe in my mind. Um, once he sees that I make the weight easy, and I'm also gonna be strong on fight day, he's gonna be in a world of trouble, man. This kid is he's not as tough as he makes himself seem. And I'm gonna prove that to the world. Like I said at the press conference, he was running, turning his back, running from me in sparring, and I just think that once we get in there on fight night, and I'm using both of my hands, and I'm actually under no limitations, he's gonna be very much confused and very much overwhelmed. I think that I possess way too many weapons for this novice, this guy with 5 fights to be in there with me. I don't care if he's sparring 12, 14, or 15 rounds in the gym. Once you get in there on fight night, he's proven himself. that he gasses too. So what would be the case if he gasses before me? What would be the case if he actually starts to panic? And that's what we counting on. That's what we know is gonna happen. Inshallah, uh, Jake's Jake's not what he claims to be or what the world thinks he is. You can't. None of them followers he has can go in there and fight for him. So I hope he keeps working hard. I hope he works as hard as he can because I'm training my ass off. I just feel like uh, he can't he cannot compete with my C game or D game, and I'm gonna bring my A game come August 6th, regardless of a weight, regardless of anything that's going on. I'm gonna bring my A game, and he's gonna have to back up all those words he said about my family, about my boxing skills, about everything. Um, when he looks up and we're there and it's the eighth round. If we make it that far to the eighth round and he's like, wow, I may not have won a round yet, or wow, I only won 1 or 2 rounds, or or he doesn't know, um, he's gonna look at me and I'm gonna have that look on my face like I told you, you don't belong in the ring with me, and I'm gonna continue to punish him. My plan is to go out there and punish him from the opening bell to until they either pull me off him, pull him off the canvas, or the final bell rings.
I was going to say, how does this fight end? But I guess you just kind of answered that question.
Allahu Allah, Allah knows best. Jake Paul can plan. I can plan. His team can plan. My team can plan. But Allah knows best. I don't know how the fight's gonna go. I don't know how it's gonna end. I just know that in the end of the fight, I pray that I'm in good health and that I'm victorious. So that's all I could ask for. I can put my best foot forward, and that's all.
No, absolutely. And just finally, Hasim, if Jake is watching right now, you got a message for him?
Oh, you fucked up, right? Jacob, Jacob, you fucked up, right? Yeah, this is it for you, Jacob. It's over. It's a wrap.
Hasim, much appreciate you jumping on. I know you've got tons of media obligations coming up, and it's going to be a circus next week in New York, and I appreciate this is
Yeah.
the last week of your hard training camp. So I very much appreciate you jumping on and giving me some times for the UK
Thank you,
fans who
man. Thank
hopefully
you for
tune in.
having me. Yes, UK. Big shout out to the UK, and I see y'all. But man, the UK has been huge on my Instagram, and they've been flooding me with messages, and they've been very supportive, and I'm definitely gonna pull this off for y'all. Tommy couldn't do it. Tommy couldn't get over here, and inshallah, I'll come over there and give Tommy a run for his money after I handle Jake. So we'll see.
Hasim Rahman Jr. for IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.